Well, good day, everybody. This is Brandon, Little NC Farmer, coming to you again today out here at my little garden here at home. And just thought we would do a quick update, kind of showing you around what's going on here. And we've had a slow start, but now, thankfully, finally, things are starting to sprout, things are starting to come up. And today is the 7th of June, I think I'm right, 2022. And so thought I'd just show you a little bit of what's going on here. And so far everything's come up that I've planted. It's been trial and error and plant and replant, but it's here now. So let me just spin this around and I'll show you a little bit what's going on. Okay, this is my okra row. This is it's supposed to be Clemson spineless. It's not. There might be one or two Clemson spineless in there, but I think this is probably Star of David okra, because it gets big as a 50-cent piece or a quarter, and it grows good sized pods. I love the okra, and a lady gave this to me a couple years ago, and I've been planting it and keeping the seed on it, and I really like this okra. But I've got to get in here and thin it. And what happened here, it was slow about coming up, and I went in, it was spotty, and before it came up, so I went in and put more seed down. Well, everything finally came up, and so I've got to go in and thin that out and redo that a little bit. And I noticed some little clippings of crabgrass coming up in there I need to get out, but that'll just one thing at a time. This is my peppers and my tomatoes. I did buy some tomato plants. I've got some, they are Romas, the paste tomato, those first four, and then the rest of them are celebrity hybrid tomatoes that I've got the seed from Hoss Tool. And I've got a couple little dill plants down there. And oh me, let me just talk about squash and cucumbers. The only plants that came up are way down there on the end. There is a cucumber plant. That is the only thing that came up from seed. Everything else here has been transplanted here. These two right here, I actually bought. Those right there, these squash that you see right here, I started those in seed trays and then transplanted them out here. Hopefully we can get something going. I mean, guys, we are just behind. I mean, just to put it to you like that. And a lot of it had to do with cold nights down in the 40s, and that just throwed everything out of whack. I mean, nothing wanted to sprout, nothing wanted to grow, nothing wanted to come up, and that just messed everything up. But that was a big trouble with that. But thankfully now I hope we're on track. I did buy, there's some of those cucumbers right there, these three largest ones right here, I bought, and I forget, they are a pickling cucumber, but I can't remember the name of them. The ones I plant typically are the national pickling cucumber, but I won't be keeping none of those seed anyway. They're all mixed up now, so hopefully we'll get something. And then these are my jade bush beans. Couldn't ask for those to do any better. They're just perfect. I've not had an insect trouble or anything. And then you can see right over here, we've got the heirloom popcorn. There's red, there's blue, there's white, there's yellow, all kinds. It's all mixed up. Some my mom gave me for Christmas last year, and thought I'd try it here. I didn't want it to mix with anything else, so it's right here to itself. I don't have any more corn nowhere near close by here, and so I thought I would do it there. And guys, this is my little fig bush. This is its second year, I think. I bought it in 2020, so yeah. I put chicken manure to it here back, but back during the winter it got bit back real hard in one of the cold spells. But it's coming back out, and I hope that it'll take off and get established and actually start maturing and making something. But I noticed yesterday, I was out here looking at it, there are some little figs down toward the bottom. If the chickens hadn't already come out here and got it. Right in here somewhere. There it is. It's right there. And I don't know, there may be more. I don't really know. But that's the brown turkey fig. And I hope I can get those established, get them started, because I do like fig preserves. All right, guys, I've got these separated. These are actually Cherokee purple tomatoes. There's some I've been keeping the seed on for several years now. I've got to get in here and work some grass out too, I've noticed. But I wanted to do these. I've done these off down here so they wouldn't, hopefully they won't mix with anything else. Kind of keep them to themselves. And I love these tomatoes. They're a low acid tomato, perfect for a sandwich. And I have canned them too. I mean, I just take everything I got and put it up. So anyway, showing you that. All right, guys, I'm out here at my compost pile. And this is just where I take clippings of junk and stuff out of the yard, out of the garden. And I just throw it down here, let it rot, let it decay. And you can see right here, guys, these are the those old-timey Tommy Toe tomatoes. They just grow crazy out here. The chickens come down here, they go through this and keep it picked out. And you can just see right there, that's just some good compost right there, rich stuff. And I may, if I get time, I may show you something I do with that, because that is very beneficial stuff. But there's more of those tomatoes. And I stuck a few potatoes that I had sprouting. I just stuck those in the ground up there. I don't know whether they'll make anything or not, but I even see a little squash that came up right there. Thought I would just show you a different view or a different angle of the garden right here. And overall, I'm pleased with it. And just want to see these cucumbers. I don't know about those right there. I bought those. I hope they'll snap out of it and start growing. I've got to get my wire up for them to run on. And it's just, guys, it's just the times that we're in. Things are going on that in our atmosphere and everything else that's just messing up everything. And we've just got to learn how to cope with it. Make the hay while we can, as the old saying is. Okay, guys, just look at this blackberry vine. And like I've said before, I did something different this year that I've ever done before. At the beginning of the spring season, I actually came out and just snipped up, I didn't do a big cut back on it. I just kind of cleaned up some of the vines, that's all. And guys, I want you to look. I mean, blackberries everywhere. This is the most I think I've ever seen on this vine. The only thing, and I've said this before, for whatever reason, I only have one shoot coming out for next year. I don't understand that. Usually I have two. But I've already clipped this off. And to be perfectly honest with you, I've thought about cutting it just a little closer back. And maybe it'll make more. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work or not. But you can see it's already shooting out branches for next year. So anyway, and the blueberry bushes, I've actually put, if y'all remember this wire that we did to keep deer away, I've actually put this around here because we have chickens that just roam the neighborhood. They're not mine. If they were mine, they would be put up somewhere. But they're just allowed to roam the neighborhood. You know, you can't you can't discriminate against nobody. You can't tell nobody. Everybody does whatever they want to do now. There's no complications for it. I mean, that's just is what it is. But This blueberry bush right here in the middle is usually the latter one to ripen up. Now my other is called Early Blue, and I can't remember the name of this one, but that first one down there is called Early Blue. This one in the middle I don't remember the name of, but there are 3 different varieties here. This one and the one on the other end are actually in the same family, but when these all come off, I'll take this wire down, and but it's ticked those chickens off. They can't get in there and get to them. I'm glad. Okay guys, this is my Cherokee tan pumpkin, and it's started. I mean, it started growing, it started running. You can see the little tendrils here is starting to connect, and I don't know where it's headed, but I just hope it's headed to make me some pumpkins this year. And I don't have any other pumpkins around, so hopefully it won't mix with anything. And I'm just keeping it watered and keeping it checked, you know, for any insects or bugs or anything like that. So that's what it's looking like. And here's our sweet potato slips. I've still got a few. I've got 1 row left. We've got those planted. And I hope if I don't know how this video is going to come out, but I should have a video coming out regarding the sweet potatoes. But I've got another row left, and I may put these in that row later on. Show you. See, I've got a few in here. Guys, this method right here is the method I like. That method over there is slower. This method right here, once they get started, they'll go to town in here. And I don't know, 1, 2, 3, count that one. Gosh, there's several right here. But I don't know, I have a few left yet, and I might get another batch off of them, and then we'll try to be done with that. I do have a video coming out on the sweet potatoes, if I haven't showed it already. Guys, these are my onions, and they are getting real close to being ready to harvest. I want you to look at this one right here. Guys, that thing is every bit of 5 to 6 inches across right there. I mean, that sucker is huge. These are Walla Walla onions here. They're yellow cooking onions. And these were started from seed back in September of last year. And there's 2 more. This is some garlic right here. And these are the red onions, and they're actually growing. One thing I've noticed, I mean, I've tried to keep the dirt out from around them, but they seem to pop on up out of the ground on their own pretty well. I think the big thing is just keeping that dirt loose so that they can. I want you to look at this right here. I'm not sure what's going on. This is actually an onion that started, but it looks like it has stratified, and there's little small sets in there. So I don't know. I'm going to see what happens there when I harvest these. I'll do something with them. I'm not going to let them go to waste. I'm not trying to start an argument with no one, and I've been gardening, guys, for all my life. I mean, almost 50 years. I'll be 50 this year. And I hear people say that you go buy these little onion bulbs, onion sets, whatever, they will not bulb their first year. Guys, that is their first year. The only onion that will not bulb is a seed. They will not bulb their first year. They have to seed, they have to sprout from a seed and grow into the set. Whether it's the little bulb or whether it's the little slip, onion slip. You know, some people will get them kind of like these that I just showed you down here. These right here were started. These plants are not even a year old, but they were started by seed in September of last year, 2021. They sprouted, And as they grew older, I moved them into these containers. Probably around, I don't know, I may have videos on it, but I will say it's around October, November, because I had onions out here last year, and once they came off, I put green beans in all of these containers. Actually canned 1 canner of green beans off of it, if my memory serves me right. But I started these onions right here from seed back in September of last year. Once they sprouted, I put them in these containers. They wintered right here on this deck. They have not been moved. They've not been taken inside. They've wintered right here on this deck. They even had, there's a video about the snow. I was walking along just right out here. And guys, I mentioned these onions being covered in snow. They sat right here. Okay, once the snow was gone, the temperature started changing, it started days getting longer, the onions started growing again. And so don't let nobody tell you that you can't take a bulb onion and make it, or a little small onion set, you know, like a bulb, and it will not make a full-size onion, because it will. It's in its second year right there. Now, if you take a seed and plant it in the spring of the year and that seed sprouts, all you're going to get is just a little spring onion. It will not make a bulb that year. If you leave it alone, leave it in the ground, let it go through the winter, the next spring you'll have a bulb. I mean, there's a lot of confusion about that, but if you'll just stop, sit down, and think about it, guys, just think about it a minute. What I just said will make sense to you. I'm just redneck country boy, but I do know that much anyway. So, I don't know why I got off on that, but I did. All right, I have one more thing here. I told you I had a surprise. I had another surprise, but it didn't come up. I had down here in the corner of the yard, right down there. How well it's showing up right in the corner of that flower bed. But I had some sugar cane, but it never came up. I guess the cold killed it. And that was supposed to have been a surprise, but hopefully we'll put something down there. But right here, guys, I've got some ginger. Now, I bought this ginger at the store, and I put it in here in this container, and it's finally coming up. It's starting to grow. And if you got any tips on ginger, if you want to share those with me, I'd be more than happy to hear, because I don't know anything about it. It's just something I'm trying. I've watched several videos on harvesting the ginger and stuff, and so, you know, we'll just go from there. But it makes a beautiful looking plant. You know, I like the looks of the plant. And right here, guys, this is, I've showed this before, that's a hollyhock, and it's stunted for whatever reason. I'm hoping I can get that thing in the ground somewhere, because the other one I had got killed. That's an old-timey pepper, hot pepper. And I've got several flowers around that I've put out. I just love to have them to look at. They're peaceful. And love my ferns. And I love these geraniums out here. I think they're so pretty. I love that color of red. As you can see, there's another one. My leaf lettuce, I harvested yesterday. I harvested a good chunk of that off. And probably with what's left there, because this is going to have to come out anyway, I'm going to move this back on the back deck for beans. I'm going to do some beans back there like I did last year. But I would like to do some wilted lettuce like my grandmother used to do. And I thought I'd take what's left there and do that with it. So later on. Well, guys, that's about it. Just showing you around here what little bit I've got going on here. We've got a right smart going on down at my mom and dad's. Hopefully we'll be planting peas, and once we get the peas planted, if they come up, we'll be done pretty much with our summer garden planting. And hopefully I'm gonna be harvesting some cabbage, making kraut. And I think I've did some videos on that. I don't know. I know I have. May do more of an up-to-date video. I don't know. We'll just see how much interest there are in that. But we've got the sweet potatoes planted, the corn's laid by, and we really need rain. We are in we are in drought here. And so we could use some rain. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna get off of here. I've got to finish getting what I'm doing around here and get busy. So guys, y'all have a good day, and thank you from Little NC Farmer.